Good evening, guys. Happy Sunday. Good evening to everyone tuning in to the live, those who will be watching during the live, and those who will be watching after the live. We were live earlier, guys, but we had some technical difficulties. But I ask, as you come in, to please share the live. Don't forget to like and kindly visit our guest today, Mr. T Educated Travel. There's a lot going on one island, and this island seems to be very divided. Some people have an opinion as to why. Some people just hearing what's happening but don't understand why it is happening. Today we have a guest. Our guest, he is not Haitian. He's also not Dominican. So he is someone that is in the middle to share his expert advice with us. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And Mr. T, I want to thank you for your patience as well. Please introduce yourself again to the audience. Let us know, let the people know who you are.
Okay, I'm gringo, they call us over here, who came here many years ago, checking out the country of Dominican Republic, and I really liked it here. Decided this was going to be a good place to check out and maybe even settle. And now, a good 16 years later, I'm still here. So I've gained a lot of experience being here, both in business as well as culturally, with all sorts of nationalities, because it's a real hub for people coming in and out. Airports are nearby. So it's an interesting place. And even financially, you can go from areas with tin shacks and then head up 2 kilometers up the road, and you're going to find places that are beyond your wildest dreams, like 24-room mansions in gated communities where Hollywood stars fly in by helicopter, and so the difference between rich and poor and the cultures and everything it's very rich here, you can say. So there's a lot of interesting moments because of that as well, and I capture them on video. One of them is obviously how the Haitians are being mistreated, which I just made a video about and put in my channel,
Hold on,
Educated
slow
Travel.
down, slow down.
Sure.
'Cause I don't want to tell them everything yet.
Okay.
As we get into the show, I hear this word a lot, gringo. And when I hear the guys or my YouTube peers saying that, I kind of took that as an offensive statement. What
Mhm.
do you mean? And I'm sure many others who are tuning in tonight with us are
Mhm.
wondering, what does gringo mean as we move into the live?
Well, I've heard different versions of it, but we're all being called gringos over here. And when they don't know your name, they say, "Hey, gringo," or you hear them in conversation in Spanish talking about un gringo visita una hora atrás, blah, 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 blah. So you pick up the words. I mean, we've always been referred to as gringos, and I don't think they mean anything bad by it. I certainly don't take offense to it when they say the word gringo. It's just there's even companies here, gringo this and gringo that. So it's, if there was anything offensive many years ago, it's probably been washed out and just become a normal thing. Like some people call them Yanks if they're Americans. I don't know who would take offense to that, so or Aussies or Kiwis. And I mean, if you look globally, different nationalities are being named with slang words or nicknames. So after a while, it's just become so normal that most people won't take offense to it. But one version I heard of the gringo is green go, when the American troops were over here many, many years ago, and they invaded the island for a moment there. The Dominicans wanted them out, so they say, green, go, which was their uniforms were green, and they say, green, go, like go away. Maybe they still just want us to leave the money at the airport and go away. I don't know.
Well, it's still like how it sounds something insulting.
I'll leave the green stuff and go.
Okay. So let me ask, what inspired you to start documenting your stay in the Dominican Republic? And why did you choose the Dominican Republic as we get into our subject tonight?
Okay, it's two big questions there. Well, I chose this place because I got sick of living in over-regulated countries. So to be able to live freely and not have government stick their nose in your affairs more than they should, to me, that seemed very appealing. And after trying to live in a few different countries where, you know, people in general always say, oh, you're not allowed to do this, or that's illegal, and oh, there's a law for this and a law for that. It just became too heavy. And then it's like, you're slaves. This is a slavery that you're living in, especially financially, and you're being taxed from here to kingdom come. And I wanted to get out of that whole matrix. I think that's why they made the movie as well, system. And that hopefully answers the first one. And the second question was, again, can you?
What inspired you to start documenting that?
Yeah, so the downside to a less regulated society is you're not so protected, obviously. So you get scammed a bit, you get ripped off, and there's a lot more con artists. So actually, one of my first video was 50 plus scams to avoid when coming to Dominican Republic. You can check that video in my channel as well. But once you learn where to tread, then it becomes so much easier, and you can keep the dice in paradise, and you really start enjoying what they call the Caribbean lifestyle, and get the best out of everything. So I hope that answers.
Can I ask, how long have you been living in the Dominican Republic?
Well, on and off for over 16 years.
For over 16 years. Have you visited Haiti? Do you know anything?
No, I actually haven't. Haiti? I got close, but then there was the earthquake, and then there was another time when I felt I was getting close to maybe doing so, and then things broke out over there and became pretty. I mean, I have friends here who went across to Haiti. One owned land over there. He went to Port-au-Prince and a lot. So he was giving me his rundowns on how he felt as a foreigner visiting over there. And since then, just with every other obligation I've had over here, it just hasn't come to fruition yet. But I've made a lot of Haitian friends, and I've learned quite a bit about your culture through them, what they're teaching me, and also what I observe in terms of, behaviors. And, you can light a Haitian's face up like that, just ping pong, pay him a smile, and 99% of the time a big smile comes back, which I find very warming. So it's a
You
feeling.
did a recent upload,
Mm-hmm.
and can you share a little bit about that recent upload? And do you mind if I find that upload and share some of it with the Life in Haiti audience during the live?
Sure. Okay, so to explain about it, over the years, I've seen a lot of seen and heard from others, but first-hand experience as well, seen the abuse and tyranny, should I call it, the tyrannical behavior by the police and the authorities against Haitians over here. And I'm involved in, which you'll probably learn later in the live, and fighting for human, civil, and property rights in international way as well as locally here. So to me, I don't like seeing people being violated. I like the old saying, treat others how you'd like to be treated yourself. So when I see something that doesn't match how I would like to be treated, you know, especially I take very good note of that. And I've videoed many of these situations and put them out in the past. I've had a couple of situations where the authorities got a bit pissed off of me because I got in their face with the camera, and I've been called names by them and all that because they knew they were being videoed and it went online. And of course, they don't like being exposed, but the enemy of corruption is exposure, and that's why we need to keep doing it.
Awesome. I'm gonna, as we get into the upload, guys, I'm gonna share some of his video here so you guys can have an idea of what
the human rights abuses for the Haitians only go from bad to worse to horrible. When foreigners wish to enter this country to reside here, then it's fairly clear what they need to do to legalize themselves, and they follow that process, after which police and authorities normally respect their status and presence here, and folks can go about their lives without being approached or harassed by the police. Yet this is definitely not the case for Haitians. Firstly, it's usually very difficult for Haitians to legalize themselves, and especially lately with the political games and fights played at government level, the rules for Haitians to achieve a legal status seem very difficult and confusing, as the authorities seem to make new rules as fast as the wind can change direction. Secondly, all Haitians I talk to seem to confirm that the police and immigration officers don't seem to give a hoot if individuals show them legal documents. Instead, they very quickly start blackmailing people, pushing, "Do you want to avoid being deported? If so, you're going to pay us X amount of pesos or we'll boot your ass back to Haiti." Of course, the amounts can change, but in other words, it's a filthy business based on pure extortion. During this video,
we've talked about this on several different lives we've had on Life in Haiti, but having someone that is there and going through the experience is always better than me sharing what I am hearing that is happening. What motivated you? What was the motivation behind that video? Had you ever witnessed any mistreatment as a foreigner living in the Dominican Republic?
Well, actually, one of the clips you just played, you saw a cop bent over. He had handcuffs in his hand, beating a Haitian in the face with the handcuffs, and several cops jumped on him. And that's all because he refused to have his cell phone covers stolen from him by them, because they wanted to deem it theirs and an illegal act. But the true criminals are the ones in the uniforms right there, and violating people like that in front of tourists, that scared a lot of tourists away from this country. And I know that firsthand. People say, "If this place, I'm never coming back here again. I don't want to see this shit. I'm going to Colombia next time. I'm going to Brazil next time," etc. Because that's not why they came down here. And there's a cop car coming past you every 30 seconds on motorbike when you're sitting at a bar looking out to the street. You don't want to see an excess of, they say a good police officer is like a good waiter or waitress. They're there when they should be, and they're hardly noticed when they shouldn't be. But that's when you have law enforcement. Here we don't have law enforcement, we have law abuse. So there's a huge difference between law enforcement, and I've experienced that in other countries. And hypocritically, in Puerto Rico, if a Dominican is pulled up by the cops and they show their legal paperwork, they say, "Carry on, sir, have a good day." But what's good for the goose should be good for the gander, and that's not necessarily the situation here in most cases.
Ask you, where are you originally from?
That's one of those personal questions I would like to keep out of the stream, because
so
I do take risks.
No,
I do take risks in putting that video out. It's a risk, of course, because if they can figure out everything about the person who's exposing them, so please.
I understand. Let me ask you, have you seen any other nationalities get picked on as much as you've seen Haitians? Because I am watching something that is taking place right now in the Dominican Republic. You have a huge anti-immigration movement which is taking place, where you're seeing weekly demonstrations of nationalist pro-Dominicans asking for foreigners to leave their country. However, even in some signs, as I posted on our thumbnail there, some people have clearly stated Haitians get out. Do you see the anti-immigration movement, which is happening right now in the Dominican Republic, as a we want all illegal foreigners out? Or is it directed intentionally towards Haitians? Have you seen an American who overstayed their visa get ran after or ran down?
They will pitch it in the media, of course, to cover their own ass, that they are after all illegals. But there's fiction and there's reality. The true reality is they're not picking or harassing Venezuelans or Cubans here. No, they go after Haitians. They're certainly not picking on us, sorry to use the word again, gringos or extranjeros, foreigners. They wouldn't dare, because we wouldn't tolerate it. We would be gone with our investments in a heartbeat, and they know that. So there's wealthy Haitians I've met coming over here, but I must say there's a high percentage of the Haitians who come over here who's dead broke, and they pick on them. They'll wait at construction sites to payday, and either they'll cut a deal, the cops, with the constructor, because he doesn't like these 3 specific construction guys and he wants to get rid of them the easy way without paying them. So they make a little backdoor deal with the cops, or they just wait for a group of Haitians to try to leave the construction sites, and then they hunt them down to get whatever money they received from the constructor. That's why you have mule routes, you could pretty much call it. They don't dare to go on the highways, most of them, unless they go by motorbike. They are walking through paddocks. So here on the North Coast, they can go from a construction 2 kilometers one way, and they'll walk across all the fields right through to another town. They make little routes, crawling over barbed wire fences, etc., to walk safely. I mean, I haven't even, if you watch the video I just put out, we talk a lot about even their wives when they go down to get milk for the baby, etc. They don't dare to hardly walk down to the colmado, the small store, because some of them get nabbed by the cops, and then the children there are waiting for mama to come home, and she never returns. And now she's on her way to the border of Haiti, to getting deported. So there's a lot of nasty stuff, but no, it's focused, despite what they may try to say to cover their ass in the media. It's focused on hunting down Haitians. And I want to give you my philosophy, why it's happening at a bigger level too, if I can get into that, but I'll let you comment.
Yes, you may continue. You can get into that, because the question that's in my mind, and if you guys are welcome to interact. Those who are watching, we want to thank all 52 of you guys that has tuned in. Please share the live, guys. Show your support. Don't forget to like. If you are new here, please subscribe, as well as subscribe to Educated Traveler. He is also a YouTuber who I have linked his channel, which is a clickable link in our description and title. I want to ask, have you, because we're hearing things with the Haitian community in other countries, but I want to know, in the Dominican Republic, have you witnessed Haitians, let's say, who are less fortunate, who are not as wealthy? Have you witnessed them doing things to intention that they know they're not supposed to do, that can bring harm to them? Have you witnessed them breaking Dominican Republic laws, which causes the attention of the police there?
No. It's been a very, very long time since I even heard of Haitians doing anything bad here. I think they caught a lot of the bad apples back in time, because every society, including the country I come from, has bad apples. And some of them would come in on construction trucks, look into properties on the way to certain areas, and then commit burglaries later on. But I think they caught a lot of them. But for years now, I actually haven't seen what you could call any troublemakers. The Haitians that are here right now, to me, are really low key, and they just want to go to work, make money, come home, enjoy their life and their family, just like we do. And I can guarantee you, like I said earlier, if they tried that shit on us foreigners, we would pull the plug. It would destroy this country in a heartbeat, especially the tourism section. If they tried that. And they did get close at one stage, and there was a situation where they started pulling foreigners into buses, and cruise ships couldn't leave the port because people were missing from the cruise ship and all that. Holy shit, was there some finger slapping that happened at that stage, and it was already starting to spread on the internet, and they had to do some damage control in a hurry, because if they start trying that on people who have a lot of investments here, that could cost them millions and millions and millions that would be pulled out. So I also want to give some advice to Haitians. If I go to a country and I don't feel welcome, well, it's like going to somebody's house. If I'm not welcome, I'm out of there. Hasta la vista, hasta la coconut. I'm the hell out of there. If I'm not welcome, you don't deserve me. And I know there's a difficult situation, because, and this is what I want to get into, with the globalist agenda that's hurt and destroyed Haiti a lot, and they continue to pick on your country from a much higher level. So that makes the economy tough to stay in. Hence the reason a lot of them want to come over here and try to create a better life. But I can guarantee you that comes at a price of looking over your shoulder a lot and feeling hunted or in danger of being suddenly taken away, and you can have your life destroyed that you're trying to build, or that you have built, in a heartbeat. In that video I just put out, get extorted or get deported, I'm interviewing a gentleman. You saw him earlier there in the clip in the red shirt. And he was fully documented, but they didn't give a shit, because they, in most cases, don't give a hoot. And they targeted him in a little minivan, guagua, they call them over here. Hey, Moreno, ven aquí. They pulled him out of the minivan. And because he didn't have the funds to pay his way out of the extortion, he got kicked back over the border again, had to try to find money and a way to get back over here again and continue his life. And now he's super careful, about how he maneuvers in society. And, it's very sad. And hence the motivation for me to, somebody needs to speak out. And I'm normally not one that can keep my mouth shut very easily when I see human rights abuses or animal abuses. So then I will be the guy coming with the stick in the hand. But that motivated me to make the video. And, you know, it's funny, these cops aren't so tough. I'd like to teach the Haitians some techniques as well, how to handle the cops, because they don't do it correctly either. And that's got something to do with conversation control. But anyway, yeah, I'll let you throw a question if you have anything you wanted to ask.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on conversation control for our people? Because even though this live is not in Creole, I really wish it would be, because I know more of our people would tune in because they will understand. But for my peoples who are tuned in, that can translate to somebody that they know as a friend or family member living in the Dominican Republic, how important is conversation control? And it's not just in Haiti, but in life, period.
Yeah, my background has been a lot in business and in sales, especially, or telemarketing. You learn to control a conversation. And the way you do that is by asking the questions. So a police officer would usually approach somebody in a very authoritarian manner with questions or demands for information. And that's where you can take full control of the conversation, say, well, hang on, what's your name? And then you get your notepad and pen out and you start writing it down. And what branch do you work for? And he may be throwing, assuming it's a male here, he may be throwing questions. Where's your ID? Hang on, we'll get to that. What's your name? I need to know who I'm dealing with. I never talk to people who I don't know who is. So what's your name? You got to get tough back. All right? You can't be a pushover, because that's what the cops here, they play very tough, but they ain't so tough. During this COVID-19 situation, I'm going to use some crypto words here because ScrewTube doesn't like me using these kind of words. But during that period, I was putting, together with another guy, posters on the street, electrical posts saying, "Attention, policia," with messages. You know, so we had a message that we wanted out to the police. 2 cops jumped off the bike, got in our faces. "Que esa?" Like, what's this? And I said, "Can't you read? What does it say? Tell me, read it out for me. Who's in control now?" "I am." Because I'm asking the questions, you see. So in most cases, when I see Haitians being approached out there by police, they just stand there like Bambi on ice, lost. They don't know what to do, what to say. They don't think they have any rights to speak out, rights to know who am I dealing with. And quickly say, by the way, I just want to warn you, I have a really good friend who's a criminal lawyer. So what's your name? What branch do you work for? It's amazing how fast these 2 cops got back on their motorbike when I started that on them.
I do, just to interrupt you a little bit, I do know that a lot of our peoples have been victimized because we lack that language, even from within our country in Haiti. Let's say growing up in the United States, since you was little, you pretty much knew the law of the land and the basics of what people can and can't do to you. A child can defend themselves because they know that even their parents is not allowed to beat them or whoop them a certain type of way, because there's also a school system that's working to educate. They're working to find out what's happening within the home. Whereas our people, for most of them that has not traveled out of Haiti, have been exposed to a system that's an unfair system from the beginning. So I just have to be honest. And that is why they are running because they've never had it where they can say this is against the law, because even within our own country, they have been abused and neglected and have never been granted that opportunity to have a grievance. So you will understand the language that, hey, this is against the law. Who are you? Identify yourself as an officer. What is the district? Because you come from law and order. So I could see exactly what you are saying as far as conversation control. But can you imagine being a Haitian person living in the Dominican Republic, feeling as if everything a Haitian person does is wrong? And we have seen many footages where some don't make it out of those conversations. That if they play too tough, this can lead to them never returning home. Do you think that's probably why a lot of our people have not attempted to have conversation control? Because the
No,
evidence
trust me, they don't know conversation control unless it's. I was a new salesman and I couldn't figure out why I wasn't selling. I've tried telemarketing. I couldn't figure out why I wasn't booking appointments. It's something you have to learn, just like sewing or driving a car. You have to learn that. It's a skill. And I may not be the world's best, but I'm one of the better ones at that whole thing that I was explaining and much more. So if they can get something out with a smile on the face, just politely say, "Excuse me, officer," you could be polite, "Can I ask your name?" And if he's pushing, "Where are you heading?" Sure, we'll come to that in a moment. I just want to know who I'm talking to. I always make sure I know who I'm talking to because my criminal lawyer has advised me so. So what's your name? You see that? It's either the tail wagging the dog or the dog wagging the tail. I'm not saying this is, you may get some stupid rookie who's going to give him a smack around the ears, "Get on the frickin' bike or we'll beat you up." Okay, now you know that doesn't work with this criminal in a uniform. So now you just have to hope you can get a general back at the police station that's a little bit nicer than this stupid idiot. So I'm not giving you the magic pill, but a lot of them may get a lot further because it's amazing how they go from cocky to humble, or much more humble, when you boomerang a question on them. "Oh, well, sure, I'll get to that. What's your name? I just want to know who I'm dealing with because my criminal lawyer suggested I should always do that." And when he hears that criminal lawyer, he's already shaking his pants. "Do you want to lose your job?" That's if he gets really aggressive. "Do you want to lose your job, sir? Because I'm very well connected here and I can make sure, and I won't stop till you do lose your job. Just treat me with respect." Fair enough? You don't know till you try who's going to buy, as they say in my industry.
Mr. T, let me say this. And I say this with all due respect, because I'm going to play the devil's advocate a little bit.
Sure.
Dominican Republic have a history of racism to where even some of their own people have been deported due to the darkness of their skin color.
Yeah.
Do you think that you as a white man can probably handle a situation like that, whereas a black man or woman would not get away with that?
Well, let's say if it would work for me 99% of the time, but it would only work, say, 75% of the time for a Haitian, I'll take the 75% if I was Haitian of being in control of conversations and making that cop jump off his high horse and get less cocky. Because one, I retain my self-esteem, my self-worth, my self-pride. Secondly, there's nobody who says that you don't have the right to turn around and say, "What is your name?" Now, if that PRICK of a cop starts getting, "Don't ask questions, I'm going to beat you up," okay, maybe that's when it's time to not ask him any more questions and then just wait till you get to another person, a supervisor, because he's too, what do they call it, too pit bull to deal with, to have a reasonable conversation. But you got to try. I see no attempts whatsoever by the Haitians to even ask who they're dealing with. There's lots of videos in the United States where you can see this guy handled a cop really well. And then you see he knows every law. And then at the end of the day, the cop has to back down or a supervisor gets called and they have to back off, harassing the person. But we got to try new things. You know, I want to really help you guys get a better life. And there should be human rights for everybody here, including Haitians. They want you here working. 96% of people I see on construction sites are Haitians. And they do work most Dominicans would hate to do, like grabbing a pickaxe and chopping away in a boiling hot sun all day to dig the foundations for the construction. So if all Haitians decided, screw this, I'm going back to Haiti tomorrow, this country would be in huge troubles, because the foreigners who's buying or the Dominicans who's building, they would be putting pressure on them. Hey, you promised, we got a contract, you got to finish the construction by this date or you won't get your next stage payment. So you are very needed nationality over here. Absolutely. I don't hear them crying out for the Venezuelans or the Puerto Ricans, but they need the Haitians. And I know constructors personally who says, oh, I'm so sick of the police stealing my workers. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'll let you throw more questions. I'd like to get into the global stuff because
definitely, I'm gonna let you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Faith is Mercedes Stallion. Let me give a shout out to the super chatters. Thank you so much, Stallion, for the $5 super chat. Stallion says, I know. I met and know Mr. T. He will always give you the truth. Thank you so much, Stallion. Thank you for the $5 super chat. You got a fan in the house. Guys, don't forget to check out Educated Traveler and subscribe to his channel, guys. Subscribe to his channel. Mr. Jackson, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you all for your continuous love and support of Life in Haiti. Let's see some of the questions, guys. Brother Kenner says Haitians in the DR are going to continue to suffer if they don't unify like the Hispanics do when they come to America. If someone has a beef with one, that person will have to deal with all. Do you think that Haitians in the Dominican Republic are not unified? Do you think that that is one of the reasons why they could be getting targeted?
Well, the cops are cowards, most of them. There's some nice ones out there I've met, but a lot of them are cowards. And the way they target Haitians, let's say, Marie is a very famous name in Haiti, probably. So if there's another Marie, she's walking down to the Colmado, which is a little convenience store, let's say 50 meters, 100 meters from where she lives, to get some milk and bread. If she gets picked up on the way by police, who's around seeing that specific situation to help her? Even if there is 5, 10 Haitians around the corner, they probably don't see that situation go down. It's always 2 cops on a bike that flies off like 2 pit bulls and get right in the face of the person. And the next thing, get on the bike. I mean, excuse me for using the word Neanderthaler, but some of their brains at the entry level of police there, it's just disgusting how there's not even communication. They don't explain themselves. They don't present themselves. It's just a get on the bike. And most people just swing their leg over and get on. They don't even say, what have I done wrong? Or what's this about? You know, so next thing, kids are crying and they can't understand why mummy's not coming back with the groceries, and they're hungry, they're thirsty. And mummy sees on the way to some police station, and then if she can't pay them a lot of money, and one of the discoveries about the money I made during making this video, the amount is around about 10 to 15,000 pesos, or you get your backside booted over the border. So anyway, my point is, with sticking together, that's all very well if everybody knew that this police was coming. Sometimes it's 2-3 police cars, they drive together, and there's a motorbike at the front with 2 guys and a motorbike at the back, and then they cruise around like hyenas looking for Haitians. So who's ready for that? Where's the crowd ready for that? Most others will stand and look out from behind a wall if they are alone, and because the fear, well, I want to help that guy, but if I present myself, I get my ass booted back as well. And that's the cops know this. So they're cowards. When there's 10 Haitian dudes standing together, they're not so tough if there's just 2 cops on a bike to get in the face of 10 Haitians. But I want to touch on another thing is, like I said in the video that I made, you'll see it in my channel now, get extorted or get deported. When they come down in areas, we have an area over here called Maranata. The Haitians and the Dominicans actually get on really good. So when the cops come down, the Dominicans are actually warning the Haitians, the cops are coming, hide, you know. And I've said it before, our freedoms stop where the authorities' noses begin. If there was no police or government stirring the pot, the Haitians and the Dominicans would get on just fine. Crikey, I've seen them look after each other's kids out in different areas. It's just when the authorities decide to shit stir that things start getting heated, and then we start hearing the propaganda online.
So we know that it's not the actual people in Dominican Republic, but it is the government there. You guys, let me remind you, thank you, Faith is, you can Zelle your tax-deductible donation to support the Life in Haiti Learning Center at Life in Haiti. Info at lifeinhaitiwithmarie.org. The name of the organization displays Life in Haiti with Marie. So guys, if you are new here, please check out some of our other uploads and help us to continue to make a difference in Haiti. We have Mr. Richard M. Thank you, Mr. Richard, for tuning in and also interacting with us tonight. Mr. Richard stated, what about the billions of dollars that the Dominican government is spending on illegal Haitian immigrants every year? Why don't you talk about that?
Okay, so what he's asking is, are they spending millions on the Haitians every year? He's asking, or it's a statement?
He made a statement. What about the billions of dollars that the Dominican government is spending on illegal Haitian immigrants every year? Why don't you talk about that? And I will elaborate a little bit before you answer, because you also made another statement that I am misinforming my audience. Mm-hmm. And you are entitled to your own opinion, and I welcome that. But what I dislike about people is, you see this wall behind me, and I'm telling you that it's a black wall. And I want you to believe that, because this is what I put in my mind, because this is what I want you to believe. What we are talking about is facts. It is things that people have endured and have went through. And they are Haitian people. Illegal immigrants. Why is that whenever we say illegal immigrants, only Haitians come up? Even Americans have 90 days in the Dominican Republic. They overstay their visas. Why aren't you guys chasing around Americans that choose to move there, still with their U.S. citizenship? Have they not became an illegal immigrant once they overstay their visa? Is the target directed at the Haitian people? Okay, and I am not gonna sit here and say that the Dominican government have not done anything for the Haitian people, because obviously something is happening because people continue to pack up and go there.
Can I throw in something on this one?
Yes.
All right. Now, if I went to United States in the last few years under the current administration, you would have been able to see people getting free this, free that, and free another thing. There's nothing. If that guy commenting, there's nothing I see the Haitians I meet get for free. They actually have to pay to get in here. And then once they've paid their access fee, then they get hunted like bank robbers for any money they might have on them, or any money they may have just worked their asses off, and I mean small money, from the constructor. They had to wait 15 days to get it and work their butts off, only to be robbed like Dick Turpin down the road by a couple of scumbag criminal cops in uniforms. So don't think they have it rosy here. No, there's no 0% mortgages like in the United States and some states. There's no free bus rides, a free cell phone, a free this, a free... No, nothing. You cannot compare United States situation with immigration. And I actually think that ties into what I wanted to talk about, the New World Order, divide and conquer and all the rest of it. But over here, the only thing I think the Dominican Republic government has screwed up on is the childbirth, which went out of hand, and a lot of Haitians have come and given birth in Dominican Republic. That's the biggest one you hear over the lips of Dominicans down here complaining, oh, well, they come here and we have to pay their hospitals. You know, people always say, we. Well, are you the government? Of course, people will take whatever they can get. If Polish people come to Scandinavia, they're going to take whatever they can get. So let's not blame the people. Let's blame the governments. If the fish stinks, it stinks at the head. All right? And it's not millions and billions and squillions or any other illions you can come up with, sir, who wrote that comment. No. If you're going to give figures, give facts, like Marishi just said. If you can show us an article that said at this stage they paid this much and that much to Haitians, okay, then you have maybe some facts to present and we'll consider it. But no Haitians down here are allowed to accumulate any kind of wealth. From what I see, they're being harassed, extorted, and exported back to Haiti a lot. And they just don't want you guys to feel safe down here. And the reason I want to get to that, why it's happening, because it's not just between these two countries. You've got the shit stirring going on. You probably see on my shirt here, I don't know which side it is, it says, if the New World Order. All right, that's who's shit stirring everything. In Haiti and Venezuela, and they're toppling governments around the world. Anybody who doesn't want to jump to their gunshots from these globalist Nazis, excuse my French, they send the CIA down to topple that government and put their puppet in. Nations don't exist anymore, only in people's minds. They're almost gone because this bunch of oligarchs, globalists, want every nation just to be a nation state of the New World Order with puppets they've put in place, running them. But to get to that goal, they have to create chaos. What does it say on the US $1 bill? In Latin, it says order out of chaos. And they show that Illuminati sign. That's the bastards that's causing all of this. They create differences and disputes and fights and terror with race, color, political, financial, medical, any way they can divide to conquer. What Dominicans and Haitians need to do is join, see the true culprit for who it is, stop voting these puppets in. You're not even, there's no elections anymore. They're just selections. Even in United States, they're all hyped up at the moment. They all kiss the same butts. They all work for the same people. That's why it says here on this shirt, stop trusting in governments, because they lie, they steal, manipulate, they use, abuse, and kill. If we do any of those, we are criminals and we get locked up. When they do it, oh, it's law enforcement. Oh, sorry, it's just war. And they can paint the picture as rosy as they want and blame it on somebody else in their television media, lamestream, Zionist control media. That's the shit stirrers. All the Palestinians right now are being wiped out. Since when were wars against civilians? Now it is, and they are making sure the world accepts it. If you want to take, like David Icke, he says, look at the end result they want, then you know the journey. The end result they want everywhere is Palestine. So the shit stirring between Haitians and Dominicans is about creating chaos. That's what it's always been about. That the scam DMIC that we just had was all about creating divide, people rejecting each other's family members and arguing and letting go of their previous friends because they're arguing over masks and other things. You know, it's the same bunch of bastards who want to take our cash, take our meat, take the clean air that we are supposed to breathe, take the fruits and vegetables that should be healthy to eat. It's the same bunch of globalists that are at it all of the time, and they have been for a long time. And people need to wake the F up and realize there's only one enemy of them. That's the people. Every time you hear about explosions somewhere, they're targeting the people. All the manipulated weather that creates floods and storms and hurricanes and earthquakes, it's all controlled by them. They've got HARP systems, ionospheric heaters. They spray silver iodide into the chemicals they spray, so we get flooding and our houses get washed away. Who comes and pays for that? I mean, I could go on and on. I've been at this for years with videos, etc. But wake the F up. Stop being sheeple. Start being people. Yeah, there you go.
Mr. Richards says that you have to understand that we are unable to sustain that.
Sustain what?
That's what I want to know. Let me ask you a question. What are some immigration laws as a foreigner living in the Dominican Republic that you are aware of? And how easy it is for someone to become a legal resident and be a normal member of society living in the Dominican Republic for foreigners versus to how it is for Haitians living in the Dominican Republic?
Okay, well, let's say a foreigner decides to get residency. What's it about? Money. When a Haitian wants to get in to Dominican Republic, whether now during the river dispute or 3 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, what was it all about? Money. What's it still about? Money. It's just becoming more ruthless because they want the chaos. These imbeciles here who voted this globalist in need to give themselves a checkup from the neck up, because he's one of the true New World Order puppets. And I could rattle off some other things they're doing in this country to make sure they install the new digital control system, which they want everywhere on the planet. You just have to look at China. They're already living it. They've taken their cash. They've got social credit score systems. You can't take this train, this bus, this, that, because you spoke out against the government. It's already there. It's called digital tyranny. And that's why they're doing what they're doing, but they choose to do it differently to every single nation because they're at a different progress level in terms of modernization and different cultures. So they have teams of parasites that sit there and decide, well, how can we create chaos in Venezuela? How can we create chaos in Argentina? How can we create chaos on Hispaniola between these two beautiful nations? Well, the big sore point has always been the Haitian Dominican thing. So let's shit stir that one. And this president is right in there ready to stir the pot on that one. So what they need to do in this country is to kick his ass out, get a true nationalist in who's open-minded to good relations with their neighbors, but so you can get back to good trade, respectful immigration things, and being legalized actually means something, and any cops who don't respect that gets thrown in jail. You know, if the fish stinks, it stinks at the head. If it's fresh from the head down. This is what needs to be changed. There's just something very, very dangerous that just happened. This globalist cabal, which is UN, just sneakily put in a new thing because not all these nations wouldn't accept this new agreement by the WHO, World Health Organization, where anytime they call for another scamdemic or a health emergency, countries have to lock down and go into curfews and all that other horse shit that we just went through. Now they've sneaked it through the UN the other day with some kind of silent procedure. It should be called a sneaky procedure. So we're in for an interesting time on Earth to see whether these nations will retain their status as sovereign nations with constitutions, Bill of Rights, because that's what they're chewing away at. You always, whenever you hear a shooting in America, what comes straight after that? Gun confiscation, gun confiscation. They're always trying to strip people's liberties, their guns, their food, their water, their land, their property. You know, the three things, human, civil, and property rights, is what we need to fight for viciously, because we are the generation that either loses it all for future generations or we make sure nobody F's with us again. Respect humanity, respect our rights, or we will chew you a new leg. I was going to say something else, but I won't. So I don't know if I'm digging down a new rabbit hole here, but I would like to get people to have an eagle kind of view on the whole global situation.
So why do you think that? Because I'm sure if you can explain clearly, because do you think that the conflict is intentional, such as Israel and the Palestine?
Yeah.
Why do you think there is conflict?
They have a 3-step war method.
Dominican Republic.
Problem, reaction, solution. And they're masters at it.
I want to ask you too, do you know our history with the Dominican Republic as well? And I'll let you elaborate. Do you think that some of our present issues with the Dominicans stems from our past history with them?
Yeah, but if I could just throw in, who's stirring that? Whether you guys invaded Dominican Republic or they invaded you and whatever happened, it's like if somebody came to me and said, your great-grandfather, he was really nasty to my great-grandfather. I don't give a shit. All right, this is now. That was his life. That was his choices. Every day is Tuesday, choice day. I said, this is now. We don't have to be enemies just because our great-grandfathers were enemies. You know, two wrongs don't make a right. So if you want to build a good relationship with me, we can start right now. I'm open to it. It's every choice you make from this second onwards with me is going to determine whether I see you as a friend or somebody I don't want to be a friend with. So what do you think of that, George, or whoever I'm speaking to? You know, so this whole thing, I never hear Haitians talk about the past much anyway, that what went on. I hear some, I would call them over-nationalistic Dominicans that sometimes talk about, oh, what happened back in the past. But who shit-stirred back in the past? The same oligarchs who shit-stirring today. And that's what they are masters at. All the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and all these nasty bastards at the top. They know how to pit countries against each other. Remember, the World War II and I was funded by the same super wealthy families. So that's what they do. What do you do for a living, Fred? Well, I'm a plumber. What do you do, Julie? Well, I'm a pilot. What do they do? We create wars, you know, and make money out of people's illnesses with big pharma, et cetera, et cetera. That's who's controlling the world, not governments anymore, you know. So this is my point. When you look at why are the things that's happening on this island, that's happening in America, that's happening in Venezuela and other places, why is all this chaos happening? Like it says on the $1 bill, order out of chaos. They need that chaos so people will beg for the New World Order, the blue hats, UN, to come in, replace all police, all military internationally, and put their one world government in place. That's what we are going through now, all of us. We are on the edge of the cliff between retaining sovereign nations that respect each other and each other's people and rights and all that, and falling over the cliff into the ravine, losing human, civil, and property rights. Go live in China. You'll get a good lick of the turd, excuse my French, of what I'm talking about, because they are already living in digital tyranny. They already got FEMA camps in the middle of their cities. If you ring and complain, why did my uncle get taken away by the police? They go and pick you up as well, and you disappear forever. That's already happening in China right now. That's what they want for all of us. Their journey to get us to that point with every nation is different. So if I flew over to Finland right now, it would be a different set of shit stirring I'd see over there than I see here. But there is shit stirring. I've lived in a few other countries, and oh yeah, I mean, you see what's happening in Europe. You know, families are complaining there about all sorts of atrocities happening to their youngsters, etc. Young girl was raped and beaten up by X amount of men, you know, that are angry. So all sorts of chaos is happening. And who do you blame? Well, instead of people getting angry with each other's races, get angry with the shit stirrers. You know, I think it says here, let me put this cup in your face. Stop trusting in governments. Wake up. Start making more friends with your other nations out there, other people from other nations, cultures, colors, etc. Make friends with them. You know how I judge people? 100% based on their attitude towards me, other people, and animals. You know, if I see somebody abusing a dog, I'm in his face. I said, hey, you want to treat me like that? See what happens. You know, just because you left school doesn't mean there's no more bastards out there. There's people who always want to prove that they are stronger, better, and more in control than the other people. It takes a big person to be humble towards somebody who's got less money or less glamorous life. And we need to get back to that point where we respect each other as beings on this slab.
Where do you foresee the situation with Dominicans and Haitians maybe in 5 years, especially with this currently elected government?
Well, Haitians need to continue to be brave and be even braver. And get help from their good Dominicans. In the video that I made sure there was an interview with a Dominican who's a super nice guy. And he's married to a Haitian. They have a child together. You hear all that in the video. And he sees it through realistic, humane eyes. That should be the goal. Coaching, educating other people in society. Take risks. Maybe if I was to give one criticism to some of the Haitians I meet, don't be so afraid to take risks on making friendships with other Dominicans. You know, they very much stick to themselves because out of fear, or, you know, they could be dobbed in, but the future belongs to the risk takers. So here's a proverb from sales. You have to be a rejection specialist. All right. So you have to have that rejection specialist mindset on a day-to-day basis, that if you smile, you could just take what's the worst thing that can happen? If I was a Haitian and I smiled to a Dominican and say, hola, he may look at me like I've killed his dog. Well, then screw him. He's an asshole. I don't need to be friends with an asshole. Judge people based on ping pong. You give out good ping and you see what happens. You're in the supermarket. Hola, ¿cómo estás? If they say, bien, gracias, and a smile back, then second time you meet them, you may say, I saw you the other day in the supermarket. What's your name? And you start building a relationship. These globalists have warfare. Everything's been weaponized to destroy human interaction. What was all that social distancing about in reality? People disconnecting from each other. We need to get reconnected as humanity. All right, not disconnect. All right. So Haitians need to be a little bit braver, following the techniques I just said. Smiling, you know, saying hello. What's the worst thing that can happen if he's a hola, you know? The second time you say hello to him, he may go hola, and it gets more positive as you go along. So get to know some Dominicans and build relationships, and then you'll get to the point where you can open your heart and he'll listen to sense and reason about your life, maybe your hardships, and then they will open some doors for you. They will help protect you in situations. I know the guy from the video, you have a look at him, Chris, he will protect you. If you are in a troublesome situation, he's the kind of guy who would step in and say, hey, this is my amigo, leave him alone. You know, everything counts. Nothing in life is neutral. Make a difference. Be brave. You know, me putting a video out as a resident of this place, people say, are you crazy? What if this? What if that? See these fears, false evidence appearing real. And I said, I've been here for many years. I've put many controversial things out, and I've never had one cop jump out of a car to come and talk to me about those videos. I would like him to try. I'm going to give him a real run for his money. And of course, the other thing Haitians should do when they're here is build contacts. I have police contacts. You know, I screen the police, asshole. Oh, he's a nice guy. So you store up the numbers of the nice guys because you may just need him one day. You know, I've had them approach me, oh, could you fill my tank with petrol? And I said, you want to listen to mine? Yeah, well, if you could give me 500 pesos for my tank, that would be good. And then they drive away and I never get harassed again. So, but if there's somebody who provides a good service for me, you know, that villa over the back, they play loud music Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Could you shut them up? I'm trying to actually get some sleep around here. I don't mind paying 500 or 1,000 pesos to a cop to go over there, knock on the door and say, hey, tone it down. There's families around here with kids and folks that need to get up for work the next day. Could you turn that stereo up before we put it in the police car? That's fine. I'll pay money for a good service anytime. But build relationships. Yeah.
Let me give a shout out to some of our super chatters.
Sorry, I'm just chatting.
No, you are fine. You're doing a great job. I just want to thank you. You guys, 68 tuned in. Don't forget to check out our guest channel, Educated Traveler. He's someone that is humane. he sees the situation and recognizes it as unfair and is brave enough to speak his truth about it, guys. So please stop by Educated Travelers, subscribe to his channel, and share his channel as well. Let them know, guys, you are from Life in Haiti with Marie. Mr. Sherry Hill, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat and your continuous love and support of Life in Haiti. Mr. Jackson, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the $5 super sticker, your continuous love and support of Life in Haiti. Italian Stallion, aka the Gangster Bankster, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Mr. T is a critical thinker. You definitely are. So, got me very attentive. Thank you, Stallion, for your continuous love and support of Life in Haiti. Bookman, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Thank you so much for your continuous love and support of Life in Haiti. Thank you so much, my sister. Thank you. Zeke IT, thank you so much for representing Haiti, standing up for Haiti, and for supporting Life in Haiti tonight with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you all. Let me go into the audience and see if we have Mr. Gene. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, guys. There was a question that I wanted to address. A lot of people assume that every Haitian living in the Dominican Republic is illegal. Why is it that we have adapted that way of viewing Haitians? Is every Haitian there illegal? What about the Haitians that have been there for years and also have had babies that was born in the Dominican Republic, never actually been to Haiti?
Mm-hmm. All right. You want me to interject there?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. There's an old saying, bad things not dealt with only go from bad to worse to horrible. And if the fish stinks, it stinks at the head. I said that one before. Now, let's say there was a president that was for human, civil, and property rights, and his police general, top general, was for it too. Well, that brings me to another proverb. There's no bad soldiers under a good general. And if there is, he gets rid of the bastards. All right? The problem is at the top. The situation will never get better. It'll only go from, he's been given carte blanche on creating this tyranny, this president. So they need to get rid of this globalist. And I'll come back. It is a globalist. All right? And he's part of the group that's blasting Palestine right now. It's all, and now they're moving to Lebanon, and they want the whole world to be Palestine. Just remember that. And that's what we need to fight against. If you let go of human, civil, and property rights in every country, that's where we're heading, folks. All right, I spend a lot of my time fighting against this shit. We are being sprayed from above. They're installing 5G antennas and saying it's safe, but it radiates the shit out of people, and people get cancer and many other things. And what they're spraying, just to go back to that, is over every nation on earth. I just want to bring it back to 179 nations internationally in 1998 signed the same nasty, evil agreement in Rio de Janeiro called the Sustainable Development Plan 2030, also known as Agenda 2030, Agenda 21. So under this, they are attacking us with many things, our food, with the Wi-Fi, they're interrupting our electricity, they're trying to create smart cities with cameras everywhere and facial recognition, they want to remove our cash. I could go on for an hour with the hundreds of things they are weaponized to destroy, control, use, abuse our lives and kill us off. There's a saying, death through 1,000 cuts. So if you're feeling very cut right now over there, this is just one of thousands of agendas. The way they play it out in America is different with the illegal immigrants. The way they play that out in France is different than here. A little bit different in every country, but it's still the same overall thing. Like I said earlier, create chaos. And the moment we get honest with ourselves and say, I don't trust any politician anymore, not Mr. Operation Warp Speed, Biden, Kamala Harris, or whoever it is you want to delusion yourself to, that you have some power in who's going to get to sit in that seat, and maybe, hopefully, they'll run the country properly and I can have my rights. No, there's only one group of people that can ever help us get back to solid human, civil, and property rights. That's the people. Remember the Constitution of America and the Bill of Rights? That's what it was about. Those forefathers knew what governments would do if they go rogue. And hell have they gone rogue. There's even satanistic agendas around the world. You're not allowed to preach or go to church anymore. Remember during that scamdemic, the list is endless. They've got attack agendas from here to kingdom come, medically, financially, psychologically, with the food, with the water, with the air, everything. That is the sustainable development plan that I'm talking about, 2030. It's the depopulation of 90% of the people. But it's easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people. But to get to the point where they can kill that 1 million people, they need to get in control first. So this is the complete control program they're installing across Earth right now. And the most dangerous thing that's happening is this World Health Organization, together with the UN, sneaking in all these little contracts that weren't actually signed by anybody, by a self-elected pompous bunch of bastards who want to control us all. Let me just say the Nazis are back.
Do you think that these people you're talking about, do they have something to do with not giving Haitians birthrights in the Dominican Republic? Because my question is, why do we assume that everyone is illegal in the Dominican Republic when some are born there?
Well, like the guy in my video said, it doesn't matter. You can go and legalize yourself from here to kingdom come. When those two dumbass cops, those rookies who are trying to get some money in their pocket, they come driving along, they target you because they can see, oh, there's a Haitian there. Let's grab her, let's grab him. So you are targeted. They are the criminals. We don't have, I said it earlier in this live, there's no law enforcement here. There's only law abuse. It's a business, and it's about making money for most of them. But I was trying to teach some techniques on how you could potentially get some kind of common sense and respect from some of them, maybe using conversation control and asking, excuse me, before you ask me all these questions, what's your name and what's your name? Because my criminal lawyer has advised me I should always know who I'm talking to. It may not work on all of them, but hell, it's worth a try. If I was Haitian, I would damn well worth try that and see if I could get some common sense across. You better respect me because I have rights, So you got to use every tool possible, befriending the Dominicans who can say hello back, who do seem friendly. Get to know them, build relationships, get some Dominicans on your side. It's us against them. And a lot of the Dominicans who take the nationalistic brainwashing on board and, we've got 3 million, 5 million Haitians in this country, they should all be kicked back. They bought the Kool-Aid, they bought into the propaganda from the government. That's simple. And a lot of them, what do they say, argue with an idiot that only makes two. I just kicked them out of my channel. Fuck off. Get out. I I don't need that person if they can't listen and learn when it's their turn. If they're not open, what do they say about the mind? It's like an umbrella. It only works if it's open. If that guy, let's say his name is Jose, he's not open-minded to learn about your problems and your issues and hear your side of the story, well, he's just a pig-headed, closed-minded, nationalist. And you may as well just disconnect from him. Actually, nothing's made me happier in life than disconnecting from people or entities that don't mean me well. I don't answer emails from people who get arrogant for emails. I don't answer unknown telephone numbers. And thank goodness we have no letterboxes here, so there's no hate mail. So you can learn over time to disconnect from moochers who wants the unearned from you, all right? And disconnect from the bad people and connect more confidently and courageously with the good people. And I don't care. I mean, I see Haitians, but if you're all Venezuelans, I'd be just as keen to be your friend if you are a nice person. That's what's important.
Bookman kind of, piggybacked off of what you just said. Bookman says, Mr. T, you are right. The New World Order, the Dominican better wake up. The enemies have planned for all of us. Stop killing the Haitian people. They don't know we are families. At some point, the hate needs to stop because no one, I agree if someone break the law of that land, that they do deserve to be deported. But my issue is Haitians being mistreated, Haitians being directly targeted. And I will play a little bit more of your video for those that are just coming in. And I'm going to not play all of it because I would like for them to go watch and share that interview as well.
Just before you do, can I just add one thing about that video?
Yes.
If a Haitian made a video about the problems they have in Dominican Republic, a lot of folks would probably just, yeah, of course they're going to say that. He or she is Haitian. But that's why I chose as a foreigner to make that video, because 99.8% of foreigners I speak to is of the same opinion as me. And many of my friends have Haitian girlfriends or boyfriends. So spread that video, please. Okay, if you don't feel like spreading any of my other videos, fine. But that one is a gift that you have a non-Dominican, like you said in the beginning, non-Haitian person that's just coming in and showing here's the facts. Here you see a cop in Petro Clisandro Sosua beating the shit out of a Haitian with handcuffs into his face. And that's not the first situation. I just didn't always manage to get them. The camera started fast enough to catch these situations. And then they already thrown them on a bike in the back of a police car and taken them away. So it happens a lot. And they're getting cheekier, like I said in the video. They're going into homes. One guy's gone missing. You're going to see that in the video. 6 months. Nobody in Haiti or in Dominican Republic's heard from this guy. So what happened to him? Anyway, play the video.
Let me give a shout out to Stay Hungry. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, Mr. T100, and they sent you some all kind of emojis there. Thank you so much, Stay Hungry, for your continuous love and support of Life in Haiti. Let me share a little bit more of Mr. T's upload here.
Specific topic. First of all, the Haitians. Secondly, Dominicans. And thirdly, expats, in other words, foreigners living here. As in the past, I know there'll probably be some proud Dominicans watching this video who don't want Haitians coming over here getting free hospitalization for childbirth, etc. And I actually agree. They should have to pay their way just like everyone else. Yet, that is a government mistake which shouldn't be blamed directly on the Haitians. Yet those Haitians who are let in They should be allowed to live and work here in peace. Otherwise, the human rights violations will continue and it will damage the country's reputation, its tourism, and its economy. And their reputation will continue to get worse as being nasty towards their neighbors whom they share this island with. Now let's dig in a little bit deeper. Don't take my word for it. Let's first of all hear from some Haitians to hear what they've got to say about their own situation here. Yeah, I'm here with Job, who's been coming and going from Haiti to Dominican Republic for a number of years. Would you say Haitians here live in fear, Job?
For the most part, I would say yes. We live in fear.
Why do they live in fear?
Because they have to be afraid of immigrations. They are afraid of even walking on the street. They have those type of fears. Even when they go to work on constructions, they are afraid they get paid all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about the women and the children and schooling? Are they scared of walking to school?
Yes, they are scared of walking to school, and also they are scared of the economy because things are just too much expensive. They are afraid of finding, the means to get things done. So everything is getting really crazy.
You said about constructions. I know a lot of Haitians work in constructions. So as I've seen, they often get chased or hunted like bank robbers when they just try to get home from their work to their little family. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct because someone know that they're gonna get paid, so they find a way to get the money from them. Either to rob them or either to chase them anyhow. So the little that they were supposed to get, they find a way to get that from them.
If the police catches a guy called Franco outside of construction on the way back from the construction, what's their typical approach when they catch up with the Haitians? What do they say to them?
They will say documentos,
Mm-hmm.
which means you gotta give your document, either your passport, either your permiso de trabajo, either your cedula, whatever you get. So they're gonna ask for that, and they know you don't have anything valid like that. They're not granting anything like that. So they did that on purpose.
So
Sometimes
you were caught, weren't you, in Guagua,
yeah,
somewhere in the country,
Yeah.
and they went, "Hey, Moreno," and they wanted you to. They sought you out amongst all the Dominicans and wanted you to come out of the Guagua.
Yeah.
Did you have your papers there?
yeah, I had everything. I lived here for 8 years, so I had everything: passport, visa, whatever they call it.
Did they take it off you, or you got to keep it?
They took everything from you, completely everything.
And you were kicked back to Haiti?
Yeah, I mean they booked it back to the border.
At what point did you get your documents back? Right on the border, or when did they give you back your documents?
No, after you get to the room that they put you in and you get back, your bag left outside, so you get your bag back if you get the chance to find it back.
There's a lot of business happening on this one in terms of money. A lot of Haitians get released if they pay money.
Yes.
So how much money are they trying to extort you guys
The
for?
price is different. If you open for negotiations, two of my friends has been caught recently, and they paid 30,000, so 15,000 for each of them.
So what's the pitch the cops use? What do they say? Hey, give us 15,000 pesos, we'll let you free.
Yeah, they're gonna tell you that. Well, we get people above us, so we cannot do that. But they're gonna call you, at the corner and say, "Hey, if you get this amount, you try to do something. And you get this amount, and then they release you."
So how much would you say of this whole thing about kicking Haitians out of the country, how much of it is about the legality of people being here, and how much is related to making money out of you guys?
I mean, it's a money-making machine. It's a big industry now. I got a friend that somebody come and call him at his house, and then he's missed. It's about 6 months. So many things going on in this place, So no one knows where he is. No one knows what happened to him.
He just disappeared.
He just disappeared.
And nobody's seen or heard from him?
No. His phone is not ringing. He's not on social media. Nothing. So he's completely disappeared. And there are a lot of things going on as well, human trafficking,
Hmm.
killings for organs and all of those things. So
Yeah.
it's probably
Let's
it's not just here, but as I live here, this is what I see. Maybe in other places too, it's happening.
and in terms of the women here, sometimes they got a return from, say, a grocery store with a few groceries, and they get nabbed and taken away, and they're yelling and screaming, "I need to get back to my baby or my bambinos." So, what's the story there, as far as you're concerned? Is they don't care about that they have little children?
Well, no one cares about anybody. He's about fight to make your money or to make a living. For the most part.
Hmm.
So if people were caring about the suffering of others, things would be different. I'm not saying there are not good people in here. Yes, of course there are good people, but it's not many.
Yeah.
It's not really many.
Do you know anything about the legalization? Not that it sounds like it matters too much to the police anyway, whether you're legal or not, but somebody told me down in Santo Domingo there's queues of Haitians sitting outside the immigration, but they're not taking them inside to process them. What knowledge do you have about that?
Right now, few people that has applied for the card, the work permit.
Hmm.
Some of them get selected, few of them, but for the most part, they're not really granting any legal documents to say, hey, you've been living here, and then you get all the papers, and then we're gonna give you a set documents that you are legal in the country. It's not happening
Hmm.
for now.
Can people legalize themselves right now? So if you've stayed here for, say, 5 years and you want to re-legalize yourself.
You can try to do that, but number one, it's gonna cost a lot of money, and it's gonna take a long time to get it. So you can even discourage to say, it's not even worth it.
And even if you had legal documents, does it mean anything?
Not really, because it's not happening just because organization. It's happening to many people. As
So,
soon as you are
uh-huh.
black, you can be a target.
So when you were pulled out of that guagua, the minivan there, or taxi van, and they wanted your papers, you said you were completely legal.
Yeah,
What was their excuse for continuing to, I would like to call it, kidnap you? Because why are you being arrested if you're legal? So what was their excuse to keep on taking you to the jail you went to and then deport you from there to Haiti?
sometimes they don't even hear you. It's like you get somebody and then you do something with somebody by force. That's basically what they do. If not, they would have looked at your student ID, your passport, who you are,
Hmm.
right? Check it out who you are and stuff like that. But there's none of that. It's usually come and grab you and then do whatever, take you.
So they don't care about even studying the documents. It's
No.
just about getting the documents off you and say, get in the paddy wagon,
Yeah,
get in the truck,
yeah, exactly.
and
That's
treat
what
you
it
like
is.
animals.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's
And even if you
filthy
say,
business.
let's say you don't have a document with you, say, hey, this is where I live, my document is inside. They're not gonna let you even go in and check the document.
Hmm. So
They're
if
not
they
gonna.
caught you straight outside your own home,
There we go.
they won't let you go in and
They're not gonna let
present
you
the
go. They're not
documents.
gonna let you go anywhere.
So would you say the situation in Dominican Republic for Haitians is getting better or worse?
It was worse couple of months before. Now it's getting a little better because I heard news about legalization of paper and stuff like that. But if we look at it from a bigger scales, it's there is nothing significant that is happening to say, okay, we're gonna find a solution for this problem.
So I'm here with Peter, who's been kind enough to jump on camera. Thank you for that.
What I'm going to do, I will allow everyone the opportunity to head over and go watch the rest of that wonderful interview, which I honestly feel that that video should have a lot more people who have viewed it. I think it was a very good documentary on the situation, because you got out there and you got people to speak that's living there about their, you know, present situation.
Well, I had to ask about 20 guys to get 2 guys on camera. So there's many who are scared of getting on camera, and I understand why. So these 2 gentlemen, we had to kind of polish their names a little bit and make it very hard to see where it was filmed, etc. But they're very brave, and if they are watching this, thank you for your bravery, because you got to break eggs to make omelets.
You have to be brave. You have to stand against odds. I don't know. I've kept you here an hour and 35 minutes. Do you have any last words? My house is your house. I do apologize about the difficulties. You're welcome back at any time. Do you have any last words or anything that's on your mind? Maybe I did not ask, that you would like to share with the world about the current situation in Haiti, in
You
the
mean in
Dominican
Dominican?
Republic,
Yeah.
with Haitians.
Yeah, I would probably, for any foreigners watching this, say, get your cameras out. Don't just sit there like a goof. Oh, look at this. They're going to grab that lady or grab that guy. You coward. Get your damn camera out. Film it. We need hundreds of videos going online. You know, I said earlier in this live that the enemy of corruption is exposure, and they hate it. I've exposed them before, and then they suddenly go all low key for a while. Different things here, you know. We have a big situation with the what they call the red light district. They're chasing the girls, but actually that's a different topic. But primarily amongst them, they're hunting the Haitians, and they're being extorted for either money or sexual favors. So this is the kind of, there's many aspects to the crimes going on. The police here are going into hotels, they're getting cockier. And that's because people ain't standing up enough. You know,
No,
if
hold on.
somebody asks,
Let me say this, Mr. T. Excuse me for being interruptive, because Mr. G just made a comment that he says, Queen, the government, they have a government that protects them, even from an overstaying visa. Will treat them right. What I'm getting from that is that some of you guys who are from different countries, your country that you originally came from, have laws in place that will protect you wherever you are at, or with in the Dominican Republic. Do you think that there is something that the Haitian government can do to bring awareness and to speak up for the Haitian people living in the Dominican Republic before you go?
I missed that last bit. If there was anything the Dominican government can do.
No. Do you think that there is anything that our Haitian government can do to protect the Haitian people living in the Dominican Republic? Because what Mr. Gene is saying is there are laws that's in place that restricts the Dominican Republic from targeting people from the United States, Canada, France, because they know that if these type of footages get out, their government is going to step up for their people. And what a lot of our Haitian people feel is that the Haitian government is not stepping in, and they're not stepping up and saying a word for the Haitian people living in the Dominican Republic. Do you think that it's time that our government say a word to their government about our people?
Well, you had a president who was topped. Yeah, taken out. Now, who took him out? The New World Order. There's no governments anymore. All right, that's an illusion. There's only puppets for the New World Order, if I got anything across in this video feed that reflects a bigger kind of view on things, if they have topped your president and put somebody else in place, you know, you can't reason with an unreasonable person. You can't rationalize with irrational people. So this can't be fixed at top level because the top level got wiped out. This can only be fixed from the bottom up, which is the people. If you got nothing else out of me on this live, we the people must stick together, must say, screw all their agendas, screw their selections, because they ain't elections. Respect my human, civil, and property rights, or we have a frickin' problem with you. All right, and that's, in the end of the day, this can only be fixed by Haitians being braver, being more ambitious, both here as well as in Haiti, creating the best situation for Haitians to return to if they want to go back to Haiti and live and work. Like the second guy I interviewed in my video, he said, as soon as I've got enough of this together, I'm going back to Haiti because I don't feel welcome here. I would have been out of there already. Hell, if they try to harass me or other foreigners who come here, we didn't leave the countries we left because we wanted to go to a country where we could be tyrannized, you know. So it's very important to have self-respect and all the rest of it. If you can't be allowed, irregardless how rich or poor you are, to walk safely on the street with your legal documents on you, then maybe you're in the wrong place. What do they say? Good plants don't grow in poisonous soil.
Awesome. Any last words, Mr. T, before we part ways and end the show tonight? Hold on one second. Italian Stallion, aka the Gangster Bankster, did another $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Italian Stallion. He says, lunch is on me for Mr. T when I come to Sasua next year when I visit.
I'll hold you to that. I'm a hungry guy sometimes.
Wow. You have one of my peoples that's going to actually come out and visit you. So it was a pleasure to have you on the show. Any last words before we part ways and end the show tonight?
Yeah, treat other people how you'd like to be treated yourself. That's one thing I'd like to say, I said early on. And the other thing is, start listening to the right voices in the world, not the television. All TV stations in America are controlled by Zionists. All right, we're just the backyard of America if we are Haiti and Dominican Republic. All right, you have to get the facts, to get the truth. You're better off listening to YouTubers. You're better, and they've kicked a lot of them off. They kicked 14 videos out of my channel because I spoke out during the COVID, and you know the rest of it, scamdemic thing. So they didn't like that I cut through the fluff and said the facts. Listen to, check out David Icke, check out Dane Wigington when it comes to all the chemtrail spraying in the skies and the chemicals, 200 million tons of shit being sprayed on us every year. Check out the Dollar Vigilante in Mexico. Check out Max Eigen, who escaped from the cops during the scamdemic because he spoke out against their tyranny over there. He hadn't done anything wrong. He was an innocent guy. And when they start making, oh, you go against the mask thing, well, you're a criminal. Now you've gone from what's truly criminal, like hurting or harming somebody, to, in UK right now, they're getting locked up for putting things on Facebook. And, oh, you shared that guy's Facebook post, you're going to jail for 10 years, buddy. What is that? That's called tyranny. That's it. So wake up, start fighting. I've been fighting for years with videos, and they've kicked some of them off. I did one called Welcome to Upside Down World, where I showed all this LGBTQ shit, where they're trying to tell little boys to wear girls' clothes and vice versa and cut off your genitals. I mean, It's crazy. It's the same bunch of New World Order bastards who are doing that, who's attacking our farmers across the world. They don't want us to have real, I mean, it's all about fake. You need fake food, fake water, fake air, fake schooling, fake news. Just be an obedient slave. Don't speak out. Don't have any courage. Be a good little sheep. Nah. Okay, screw those people. We're not trying to wake sheeple up. We're trying to wake the sleeping lions and lionesses out there to protect the three things I said: human, civil, and property rights. You let go of that, you won't be arguing with the guy you used to argue with anymore. No, you will all know when you're in the quicksand of tyranny up to your nostrils that you should have spoken out earlier. Fight when there's smoke, not when there's fire. On that note, thank you.
No, we thank you. We thank you. And I definitely look forward to doing this again. And guys, don't forget to go and check out Mr. T at Educated Traveler and check out some of his other uploads on the channel. Thank you so much, Mr. T.
You're
It
most
has
welcome.
been really, really good. I'm going to put you backstage for a little bit while I close out the show, okay?
Okay, take care, everyone. And if you check out my channel, thanks in advance.
Yes, awesome. So I just want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in tonight. I like to deal with facts. I am a literal person, and I am a Libra, and I try to look at things both ways with people. I am about fairness. I don't like to see people being mistreated, either because they're less fortunate or because of their race or even sexual orientation. I am one that don't believe I am not God. I'm not here to judge, and I don't think that we should beat people and literally abuse people because they have a different stance from us. In today's day and age, we know that immigration is a huge policy for each and every country on earth. There are a lot of countries like my country that is facing a hard time. I hear a lot of people talk bad about the situation in Haiti and that we Haitians, we need to fix our country. I am one that's doing my part. However, let's not think that everything that's happening in Haiti is 100% all Haitian people. Haitian people have been put in a situation where everyone is running for their life. This live is to bring awareness to the mistreatment of my people, of Haitian people living in the Dominican Republic. Yes, you cannot sustain millions of immigrants to come and live in your country. Deportation in a humane manner will be great. If someone there and they're illegal, they should be deported. However, think, do you have laws in place that allow people to seek a path for, legalization? Or is it intentional that each and every one of your laws restrict someone from being legal? Many of you guys share different comments, thoughts, and ideas. And I've shared my stance. I have nothing with the Dominican Republic people. I think that we should start being friendlier to each other as people, as a whole, and stop judging each other for the color of our skin or because he's American or he's Dominican. I am sure there are a lot of Dominicans living in America. How would you like if you heard that Dominicans were being directly targeted and were being jumped on and abused in a inhumane way by Americans? It's not right. It's not fair. And if you hate Haitians to that point where you're willing to lose your soul, that you think the only way for us to fix this is to beat and damage to get them out of your country. You just cannot, you might need to do some self awareness, some self seeking, because we should not hate each other like that. It is no excuse for the situation that's happening in Haiti. It is no excuse for a lot of people being displaced. But my neighbors, I want to remind you guys that today is us, but you don't know where tomorrow may bring you. I'm not promising anything, but what I know is that the world is a ball. And 1 minute you're up, and the next minute you're down. Be careful how we treat people, and be careful the bridges that we tear down, because we might have to cross that same bridge we tore down on the way back home. Courage to my Haitian people. If I could give you an advice, my advice would be to come back home. Invest in Haiti. Take courage. Jean nous dit en malheureux, accepter que ou c'est haïtien. At some point, the Haitian people have to come to the realization that it's wrong to be mistreated. That if you are not welcome somewhere, then that you may not have a place there. Seek comfort elsewhere. That's all I can tell you for now. That's the best result for me as a Haitian woman. With all due respect, with everything that they say, if Haitians is a disturbance to them, I'm going to be a realist and accept that I am Haitian, I am Black, I'm beautiful, and I love myself, and I could not help who God made me on this earth. So I will stay with people that embraces me, with people that encourage me to be better, with people that support me to do better and want to open doors so that I can do better as long as I'm willing to invest in myself. Leave Dominican Republic is my advice. Many of you guys in the diaspora community, you continue to support Haitian people crossing a border illegally. Consider not sending them there. Consider coming back home and making our country great. Many of you guys are very, very talented Haitian people that are an investment to the Dominican Republic, and yet you're still not respected. Come back home. Come back home is all I have to say. I'm Haitian. I'm proud. I love it. I love everyone. Well, all I'm saying is if you are somewhere, even in America, wherever you are at, that's something I was taught since I was a little girl. If I went to a friend's house and I felt unwelcome, I was mistreated by her parents, and I knew when I went home, my parents told me if I ever had that feeling to never go back. We have to have self-respect. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to each and everyone who shared the live. Thank you to each and everyone who super chatted, who supported. Thank you to each and everyone who continue to make this movement a factor to bless us to be able to continue to do the work here in Haiti. Let's invest in Haiti. Let's put our heads together. Let's unite the Haitian people and do something big, do something powerful. Let's just stop depending on what our ancestors left us, because today is the present. Today is a gift. We love and we admire Jean-Jacques Dessalines, great Henri Christophe, but they cannot come back to deliver us out of what we are in today. It is us that have to stand up and be that great Jean-Jacques Dessalines. It's us that have to stand up and be a new generation and be a new movement. I love you guys. Be kind to one another. I always tell you guys that. That's what life is really all about. Being understanding to each other. Giving somebody a compliment. Putting a smile on someone's face. Because you never know. Today I even made a post in the group. You never know what someone is going through. And you will be surprised what some people is going through right here, right there by you, your co-worker every day, and never shared it with you. But I promise you, they won't forget when you gave them a compliment. When you say, your hair look nice today. Oh, you look so handsome. Or just a, I love you. I love you. We should love each other, guys, and to uplift each other. I'm going to leave you guys tonight. I'll keep you guys posted, keep you all updated. I love you all. Have a blessed night. Until next time, guys.